Hello everyone and welcome to flowmo. My name is Mark and in this video I'll show you how to create a basic and animated landing page from scratch. For those new here, flowmo is not just any design platform. It's a game-changing design platform that empowers designers to own the entire process in one place. It enables designers and teams to create high-end designs and manage everything from animation to automation without requiring a developer, all in half the time. This results in high-performance live websites or code delivered to production quickly. In today's video, we've divided the process into 5 simple steps. First is the intro stage, where we showcase the platform and cover the basics. Next, we'll move on to the pre-design preparations, with some important notes to consider. The third stage is all about designing in flowmo, and here's a hint. It's easy. After that, we'll bring our design to life with some simple yet engaging animations. Finally, we'll publish it and go live. First up, let's get to know our workspace. Here's our dashboard. In the top left, you've got essential actions like importing files or toggling dark mode. Let's revert. This area stores all your projects, whether the drafts or ready to go live. Over on the right, you can log out or check the current user. Here, you can choose to import a file from Figma that you've already designed. We'll delve into that in a separate video. Today, we'll start fresh with a new file. Simply name your file and we're good to go. Welcome to the design environment. On the left, you can switch back to the dashboard, save, export, or change the theme of your workspace. On the left section, you can see the designed layers, global settings related to the entire file, and more. The right side is where all the magic happens. This is where we'll set up and build our designs and define all the animations and some of the technical settings. Up top, there are key design tools like shapes, text, video, and more. The file autosaves, which is super handy. And the Pro button reveals advanced editing options, though we'll keep it simple for now. In the next part, we'll prepare our workspace. We'll start by uploading any specific brand fonts. Head over to settings and scroll down and add your selected font. Now choose font weight. It's crucial, especially for maintaining consistency. First, let's define our landing page's frame. We're going with 1440 pixels wide. Next, we'll add colors to our brand's palette. Note that this adds colors to the palette and not as part of the design system, which we'll expand on separately. Now we'll go to fill on the right side and input the color number or manually select it, hit plus, and it's in your gallery for quick access. Now on to designing. In the first step, we'll define the background as gradient, choose the colors and position them. Let's build the top part for our site. We'll go to the image tool and add our logo, scale it down and position it. Now we'll create a button by adding text and typing the content, centering it, selecting a color. And clicking auto layout like in Figma. We'll define the padding size and spacing within the text frame. We could fill it with color, but for now let's select a line, choose a color and thickness and leave it at 1 pixel. We'll also define its radius and position. We'll select both elements and align them. We'll move on to the main text, our headline. We'll select the text size, color, and font. Note that the font we added appears first for easy access. We'll define the spacing between the lines and position it. We'll add a paragraph. Select both elements, click on Auto Layout, define the positions of each, and align them to the left side. We'll define the spacing between the elements and arrange this section. Now we add a new button the same way we did before. We'll choose a font and color, and I'll add an arrow in vector format. You can easily copy and paste from other programs like Figma, Illustrator, and more. Select both elements and mark them with auto layout. Position them Then align and define the spacings between them. Let's define the padding and select a color from the palette we saved initially. Add a radius and position it. Now let's add an image, and later we'll add a simple and cool animation to it. Note that it's important to position elements within the board. You can do it manually by dragging it. Or you can use the layers panel on the side to place them into the frame. We'll add a few more elements around and define colors for them. You can duplicate and edit easily to save time. We'll add another element we saved beforehand, but you could build it within flowmo or from ready-made components. Okay, let's see the preview. Notice the tool that allows you to check the responsiveness, but we haven't defined the page as responsive yet. So let's go back and introduce an amazing tool that will streamline your work. Select the frame you want to define, go to the plugin button on the top bar, and select Flowmo Helpers. We'll scroll down and mark the option Make Everything on this page relative to viewport width. Let's see what happened. Notice how everything is responsive and adapted to various screen sizes and tablets. How cool is that? Now let's move to the animation and break the cycle where you need a developer to code the animation you've imagined. Let's start with the first element with a floating effect. We'll animate the mobile phone with a basic up and down motion. We'll go to the animation window and select basic animation. Please note that there are from and to options, which are relevant when there are two different states for the animation. We'll get to that later. For now, we choose to. This means that the starting point is the current location and view of the mobile, and from there, we'll define the animation in the window. We'll click on keyframe and select move. On the X and Y axis, we'll choose the direction of movement. We'll select the Y axis, which is up and down. We'll define a movement of 25 pixels, and the entire animation will last 3 seconds. We'll select origin and define the center of action. In this case, I want the movement to be from the center upwards and downwards. We'll give a name to the animation and move to interact to activate it in the trigger section. Click on plus to add interaction to the animation. Now define when it will operate. We'll choose when the page loads, and then we'll select the animation we want to trigger. To make it look like floating, we'll use a yo-yo effect so the action will go back and forth. To make it operate continuously, we go to the loop section and set it to -1, indicating an endless loop. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, cool. Let's define another simple animation for the card. We'll align it first without any angles. Then go back to animation and select basic. Then rotate. To define a rotation movement, we'll give it a gentle rotation of 13 degrees, and the duration of the action will be 2 seconds. Here again, we want it to be repetitive. We'll go to origin and define the center of the shape as we did before. Sin interact. We'll activate the animation again, but this time we'll choose hover. We'll select the animation, and in this case, by default, the current element is already selected. Then we'll select the newly made animation, and let's choose yo-yo again for back and forth effect. Now, let's add a cool animation to the button as well. We'll go to the layers of the button. If we haven't given it a name, now is the time. Within the group, choose shape and draw a rectangle. Please note that this rectangle is not part of the group, so we'll simply drag it and position it above so that the text and arrow are visible. We'll make sure the rectangle is selected. Define it as absolute and set it to 100 in size so that it takes the size of the group it's placed in. Great. Now we'll align the two rectangles. let's add a radius to the rectangle we now added in a different color from the button itself. Okay, now we'll select basic animation again. However, this time we will choose from because we want what we define in the animation to be the initial state. In other words, we want our element to come from the specific animation to what we see on the canvas. Select Move Animation and go to the x-axis. We'll set it to -200 because we don't want it to be visible at the beginning. We'll set a time of 1 second. Now, we'll give the animation a name and we'll go to Interact. Define hover again, but this time the animation will be triggered not directly over the object of the animation, but over the entire group, since we don't initially see the rectangle itself in the first view. Then we'll select the marking tool and select the entire group of the button in the layers on the left side. We'll select the animation and see how it turns out. You can see that the button we added above doesn't disappear completely. So let's go back and change the setting. Let's select only the rectangle again, and on the x-axis, we'll increase the initial distance to -500. Now we're at the final stage before publishing. But before we do that, let's hit preview to ensure everything's working smoothly. When you're ready, hit publish and select Publish Live. In a minute or two, your link will be live with your newly created website. So we designed a quick landing page with a live text and animations within 15 minutes. Everything you see can also be exported as HTML code that your developer can edit or embed in any supporting system. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more quick guides and deep dives into everything Flowmo has to offer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. See you in the next video.